Hey guys, welcome to Philippine Family Life with Leia's channel.
Welcome.
And today I am with my husband Gary, and we're gonna talk about 5 reasons why you should not retire here in the Philippines.
Right. I'm sure there's more than 5, but that's what we come up with. So we're going to give you 5 reasons not to come here.
All right, so let's start.
Before we start, I just want to again congratulate you on surpassing 20,000 subscribers.
Thank you so much.
That's actually a really big achievement. You started this, well, not even 2 years ago. And so you must be doing something right.
Maybe.
Anyway.
But yeah, I'm so thankful. Thank you.
All right, so let's get into some reasons why you should not retire in the Philippines.
Yeah.
What's your first one?
You already know the patience.
Patience. This is important.
Yeah.
Because coming from the West or a different country like America, England or whatever, you've really got to learn patience.
Yes, because Philippines works differently, totally different.
Yeah, very different. I mean, actually not just Philippines, a lot of parts of Asia, but we're in the Philippines, so we'll focus on that. But yeah, patience is very important. Give some examples of things where we need to have patience.
Traffic.
Okay, so traffic would be probably one of my biggest problems. One of the things that drives me most crazy and the thing that I have trouble with patience with. But I am doing much better. I mean, than I used to. Yeah, tremendously much better. It's not just traffic, like sitting in non-moving traffic. Like if you live in Manila or Cebu or the big cities, yeah, you need patience just sitting in your car and taking an hour to travel a block or whatever sometimes, because the traffic can be really miserable at times. But the patience in dealing with other drivers.
Yeah, especially here in Dumaguete.
Right. Now, I try to be a good Christian man, but you drive with me a lot. Do you see me challenged with my patience?
Yeah, Gary has to be like that. Gary has to do that like at least twice or 3 times every time we go to Dumaguete.
That's just when you're with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah. I mean, here in the Philippines, especially here in Dumaguete, there's no traffic light. I mean, people just drive when they know how to drive. They just go drive. It's not so strict when it comes to driving, right?
Yeah. It's tough to get used to driving in areas where there's just really no rules. There's no enforcement. There's no police around. I mean,
they can get away.
So people do what they want. They just they're not very polite on the roads. People just,
And you are a foreigner. It's always you're gonna be the blame as always, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So you have really to be really careful, because some of these guys, they don't even know how to turn. They don't even look. They just turn. And I have a couple guys that mentioned this. That's drive them nuts.
Yeah. So anyway, let's move on, because we could talk about the traffic all day, I think.
I know. And the lines.
Okay. Yeah. Patience in. What do you got? Lines?
Getting lines.
Or if you're in England, you might want to call that queues. What?
Oh yeah, that sounds.
That's what they call it.
Oh really?
It's a queue.
Yeah, that's totally different.
Yeah, get in queue, not get in line. That's just how they.
Really?
Really?
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, it's frustrating getting in a line out here, because sometimes even when the line doesn't look very long, it sometimes just doesn't move.
Because some of the stuff don't even, they're so slow.
Oh.
There's no energy when they do in line.
Okay, as an example, I was in Robinson's supermarket yesterday, just picking up a couple of little items. I wanted to be quick. I just picked up Les from school and okay, I'm going to run to the supermarket, pick up. And I got my stuff and I was trying to look for a line. Now there's 20 plus cash register places, but 3 were open.
Yeah, that's.
And in each 3 there was a 3, 4 people in front of you in each line with the big shopping carts, and that takes a while. And none of the speedy cart lines, basket lines were open, just these 3. And you know, so everybody's piling into these, and I just don't understand it.
Yeah, even if you went to the priority line.
Yeah, well, the priority line had more people than the other lines.
It's crazy. I don't know why the priority line, they only have one line for priority line, because sometimes I see it's worse in the priority line.
Actually, I don't know what priority does, but you know the worst places I've noticed is in the drugstore. In fact, you don't know. Go to Mercury Drug, they have the price, and they have them all lined up with their IDs on the table. And the other people that go in and get a number, they're coming in and out in no time. I don't even know. What's amazing is how, I don't want to call them stupid, but why anybody would go in, you know, you're an elderly person or you're pregnant or whatever, and you're like, oh, let me go wait in this line where there's 15 people, or I can wait, oh, there's 2 numbers before my number in the other line. Anyway, so I don't know how people think.
It's the patience, it's drain your patience when it comes to lines.
Yeah. And it's not just supermarkets, it's in the banks and anything where you have to line up.
And also, we're on at a Philippine time appointment, like, you know, especially if you're going to see Filipino, you know. Yeah, you have to expect it. It's like if you are going to see him like or her 3, and you already have to expect that it's gonna be 1 hour late, right?
Oh yeah. No.
You're not realistic about the time.
And that, especially if you're new here and you're making an appointment with someone, they're not there. It's very frustrating. You get kind of angry and you don't understand. This is just normal, you know.
You know what? I'm becoming like Gary. When it comes to it, I get frustrated. Yeah,
that's what happens when you live after 5 years of being with me. It's gonna, you know.
Yeah, but now I understand it because you know.
Finally. Yeah, no, she does. You get pretty angry sometimes, and another thing is actually this goes back to a lines thing as well, but ATMs. Patience.
Oh yeah.
If you need to get money in a hurry and you need to go to an ATM, half the time, no more than that, you'll go and either the machines have problems, there's a sign up there saying.
That's one of the big reason why there's always going to be a long line, because the machine, like they have 3 machines and the 2 is broken, only 1 working. So.
Always, and then you got like 10 people in line, 5 to 10 people in line, and doing several transactions, and it can take a while. And you know, by the time you actually get to the ATM, you're going to be the one person where, sorry, there's no more money available.
Yeah, how sucks it, and it usually happen when you need the money, desperately.
By the way, some advice for anyone out here: always have keep some cash at home or something. Don't get down to your last pennies and think, oh, I've got to get money from the ATM, because it might not happen.
Yeah, you always have to have cash, because especially if you go shopping, because the card here usually don't work, right? If you go to shopping. Like, you know, that was weeks ago, I went to Lee Plaza
to do
some shopping.
Yeah, it's not working today, you know, we need cash, you know, after you lined up for 15 20 minutes.
Yes, a lot of stuff, I got a bunch of stuff, and I'm ready to pay, and then I use my, I asked her, and the line was big as well, and I asked her, do you receive, and then, they said, okay, but as soon as they tried to do my card, they said that no, it's broken, so it sucks. So yeah.
Well, we got a lot of items on the patience.
Under the patience, because coming here in the Philippines will test you or drain your patience. Yeah.
And last thing on this one, then, is just parking. I mean, especially since we got a car, we've experienced that. Just going into Dumaguete City, trying to find parking is not so easy. You know, and these days. It's a challenge where we'd like to go ground zero.
There's no parking.
Sometimes you drive there, so you know, so difficult to get a parking spot sometimes. Not every day, but sometimes.
Yeah, most.
Anyway, just gotta have patience when trying to find a parking space.
Even in the mall, like Robinson, it's
terrible,
it's a big place. It's very difficult.
It's really bad right now because they got all that new construction going on. So anyway, let's move on, because
the number 2. So
sufficient income. So do not come to the Philippines to retire if you don't have sufficient income,
Or no
either to bring with
pension.
you or money or something that you're getting, you can guarantee getting every month. Because, you know, as an example, we know people that have seen videos and vloggers and thought, you know, yeah, they've set their heart on coming here, and they've been watching videos so long, they've made up their minds, and they'll sell everything.
Yeah, I mean, you know what?
And yeah, no, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say they'll sell everything, sometimes before they're even eligible for a pension or social security, thinking, well, I'll sell this and that and I'll be able to survive for these many years until I get my social security. And they think that money is going to last them forever because they just think it's so cheap out here.
It's, you know what, Philippines is not cheap as you think, and also, yeah, the money goes quickly, so you need really like sufficient income, or if you don't have a pension, I don't think it's a good idea coming in here in the Philippines.
No, and it's really not as cheap as you think.
It's not.
It's not. I mean, you know, you go to the grocery store and your grocery bills, it's not cheap at the grocery store. Okay, rents are going to be cheaper than the US, but then it depends on where you are in the US. I mean, not everywhere in the US is exorbitant. Of course, if you're in Los Angeles, New York, Florida, or Miami, prices are going to be extreme, but you can find rents in US that aren't that ridiculously crazy. So rents are cheaper here, generally, and maybe that's one of the biggest savings, actually.
Yeah, but even if you know, it's cheap, you're living cheap, and then if you have no income coming in, then the money will gone. Yeah, and also you mentioned already that, you know, some guys, and actually you met some people that actually sold everything from USA and come in here in the Philippines without checking the Philippines first. You should not do that, right?
No, definitely not.
You have to visit Philippines maybe a couple times before you decide to do that.
So basically what we're saying is, don't retire in the Philippines if you haven't got sufficient funds. Don't try and think you can come out here with minimal savings that you think you can stretch out for years, because there's always additional expenses and things that you can't possibly account for at this time. Things always come up. Extra expenses, whether it's medical expenses.
Yeah, that's good.
Whether you meet a needy girlfriend.
Yeah, right. If you like girls, I don't think your money will be gone. You'll be homeless.
All right, I take it back then. So if you want to make your money stretch out here, find a cheap little place to rent. Don't ever leave the place. Don't find a girlfriend.
Don't have more than one girlfriend. Right?
Yeah, no, absolutely, yeah. But just make sure you've got enough to live off.
Yeah, and also I heard some guys, you know, they start thinking about starting their own business, something like that.
Well, yeah, we get that sometimes. It's because a lot of people are excited to come out, especially with all the vloggers and especially in Dumaguete and so many good things people say about the Philippines, and you know, a lot of it's true. But we're pointing out some of the not so good things today. But
we want to give you something honest.
Well, it is honest.
Yeah.
So, but people get excited. They want to come out here. And sometimes think, I don't want to wait 3-4 years or 5 years to my social security or retirement or whatever it is. I want to come now, and then that can often be a mistake. There's sometimes I think, well, I'll come out there and I'll get a job, or I'll work online, do a business. It's not easy to make money out here.
Yeah, starting a business here in the Philippines is not that easy. And what if the business don't work? I mean, if that's the only...
Yeah, the only way I would say, so if you're currently doing work online and making money, and it doesn't matter where you're located, then that's okay. But don't come out here thinking you can start a new career in some kind of online business when you actually have no idea what you want to do yet, and think that you'll figure something out, because you probably won't.
Yeah, in some case it works a business, but you know, again, it's the Philippines. I mean, you won't make enough even if you start your own business.
Yeah. Anyway, so next thing on your list, number 3.
The services is the number 3. Yeah, the service.
Don't retire in the Philippines if you want reliable services. Now, services, that can be many things. I mean, let's talk about home services. You've got your internet, you got your
electricity,
electricity, just general service in the house. They're not always very reliable.
No.
And internet, let's talk about
And
internet.
health also,
And health service.
that's the
you know what?
most
Sorry.
important part.
Yeah. In fact, do not retire in the Philippines if you have ongoing health concerns or conditions, because you're probably not going to get the same level of care that you're going to get in, say, US out here. So I would not recommend coming out here if you need, if you have any kind of serious condition that needs to be constantly worked on or monitored or whatever. And then unless you've got some kind of insurance in your home country that covers you out here, the bills can get really expensive. So again, that's not as cheap as people think. The medical bills can really add up. If you,
Here is ripped off.
especially if you're a foreigner.
Exactly.
Yeah, so be careful of health services, home service, internet. As an example, when we lived in Apolong, we had PLDT.
Yeah, always.
And which is often the case out here, they'll have trouble finding a place to plug in your cable, finding a box.
They don't always have a box, that's another service.
Right. Right.
Terrible.
But usually they'll find a way, especially if you give them a little tip, and they'll find your box. But in our case, I don't think we knew it at the time. No, I guess we did. We just didn't really figure out that it was going to be much of a problem. But we had a cable 1,000 meters from where we lived. That's a long way.
That's a very long way.
And the cable shredded through all the trees and low hang. So get some heavy winds or something, and something's gonna break the cable or pull the thing out.
And we always have a problem with internet. Like that's your biggest fear, having our Wi-Fi red, because if the red
loss of service.
that's loss of service. And
loss of connection or whatever.
The services in PLDT, sorry PLDT, but we have to be honest. But it takes days before they make an effort to check your place, right?
Oh, it's terrible. Yeah.
Yeah, they won't make an action as maybe to Gary. Gary is always pushing them.
Customer service for things like this is just horrible. Now, let's pray for this. But we've moved and we're closer to the city. Hopefully, we're with Globe now, and their customer service sucks too. But hopefully, we'll get more reliable internet here. So our cable box isn't so far away, or where they plug it in. So hopefully it'll be much better.
And the electric, especially it depends on your area. But when we're in Apolong, we get brown out like 3-4 times a week, right? Yeah. Actually, and again, since we've been here, we had a few brownouts, but they've been much quicker, haven't they? Oh yeah, actually yes, they fix it right. I think it's a good thing about being in the city because a lot of people living in here. And sometimes they have a business, maybe they make a phone call, they fix they make more effort in the city.
So those of you that are thinking of retiring out here and you want to go in the province or in the mountain or Valencia up the hill like we were, you have to expect that you're not going to get particularly reliable services.
Yeah, you really have to expect that. So
Number four, if you do not retire in the Philippines, if you want peace and quiet, I mean it's not always as you think. Like, people watch on YouTube, this is so peaceful in the Philippines, everyone is happy. I mean, there's a lot of good things about the Philippines, but if you want peace and especially quiet, there's always gonna be a karaoke, dogs, roosters. I mean, if you get lucky, like so far we live here for almost 3 weeks now. Yeah. All we have is 1,000 roosters behind the fence.
Don't say that. But anyways.
Yeah, we do, but they're actually not quite behind there.
If you see it, you'll be like, that was your reaction when we check this place and Gary climb on the ladder and look behind it. It's like it was like this because it's for the cockfight. Cockpit, whatever. But rooster fight.
Rooster fight, no.
Rooster fight, whatever.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. So.
Okay, I lost my train of thinking.
But we get lucky because we'd sleep pretty good. Like there's no sounds.
In our bedroom we don't actually hear a sound. It's really quiet, and
Yeah, honestly, no.
and in the daytime you hear them a little bit, but they're not that bad. Don't
Not
bother
that
us.
bad,
It's kind of nice in some ways, like nature sounds,
Yeah,
you know.
exactly.
I'd rather that than a barking dog.
Yeah,
That's the worst thing.
dogs in some area, like if you get unlucky, I mean, sometimes if your neighbor got like in front of you and got like 5 dogs, big dogs, and that can be so annoying, right?
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, so don't expect peace and quiet unless you're very lucky. And I would stay away from the subdivisions.
Subdivision, it's bad.
Because especially, I've lived in subdivision, but usually the houses are all close together, you know, and they have dogs, and there's usually they have rules, but they never enforce them. So you might have. I remember a situation years ago when I was in subdivision.
You told me that.
The dog was just barking all night long. It just never stopped. It was driving me insane. I lost my mind one night. I got up at 3, 4 in the morning, and I went over to the guard people there. And then I wasn't a Christian then, so I was using a lot of colourful language. And I said, if you don't shut that dog up, I'll make sure I shut that thing up. You know, it's crazy.
Yeah, and then you're new here. You don't know all these things, and you don't have patience that time.
No.
But yeah, definitely you need to avoid the dogs. It's really, I mean, I can stand with rooster. Yeah, I can agree with you. And dogs is so annoying noise. I don't like.
And karaoke can be really annoying, especially if it's really close. Now thankfully we don't have that now, and we didn't at our last place. But I know some people have had horrible experiences of someone that's doing karaoke every night with dreadful voices and there's nothing.
Celine Dion.
There's nothing worse than karaoke when someone can't sing, and sometimes if someone's a really good singer, hey,
it's good,
but more often not, they're really awful.
Yeah,
and especially the guys. The girls are usually better than the men, but singing they are.
Yeah, and we know some people that actually have playing karaoke like every day. If they have this something like a machine that Philippine, like like a karaoke place, something like that. And then if you get unlucky and your place is in front of that place, and you're gonna be regret it because it's terrible. I mean, in our last place we had karaoke, but it's only like weekends sometimes, and
it wasn't that bad.
Yeah, it wasn't
right next door to us.
In here we got weekend as well, but not that bad. It didn't stay up all night.
No. So far we've been really blessed at this place.
With the karaoke.
Let's get on to the last one. Number 5 and final for today's do not retire topic.
Do not retire in the Philippines if you want a good quality of
if
food.
You're picky.
Yeah, especially if you're picky.
If you're picky about food and eating,
Yeah, do not retire here because it's the quality. I mean, I don't know. I'm sure you can tell because I never been to other countries, so I don't know the difference.
Well, and I don't know how it is now in US because I haven't been there in a while shopping. But I used to like meats and seafoods and stuff like that. You used to get really fantastic selections, and good meats, good beef, steaks. Here the meat sections are not so nice, and they don't even look that clean. The way they handle the meats and everything over here, but so you're not going to get the same quality meats and seafood. And now you can get fresh seafood, but it's not. Maybe Philippines like it, but
I do, but
because what you used to, but it's not the kind of fish that I used to like.
So especially if you were retired, I can imagine you have to try the really good, like example sushi, and then you come here and you won't appreciate it, right?
No. Yeah. So definitely not a great selection of good restaurants. Of course, in the big cities, Manila, Cebu, you're going to have some good places, but again, we're talking from Dumaguete, so this is what we're used to these days, and there's very few good quality restaurants here. I mean, very few.
Yeah, and you have to be careful also with the poison because here in the Philippines, restaurant is usually not so strict. The government, they don't even do like checking the place. Restaurants.
Yeah. Wait. It's definitely with the street food. You got to be careful.
Yes.
In fact, it wasn't so long ago where you had a really serious case of food poisoning, and your body's used to it too. So I mean, if I'd had what you had that night, I'd be dead already.
I know that that was terribly bad poison. And also, like if you're going to the restaurant, sometimes they have this out of Like, you know, they have a menu and then half of the menu is not available. We encountered that a lot here in the Dumaguete especially, right?
Yeah, because they have a whole bunch of stuff on the menu.
Stuff.
But a lot of the things, like as an example, things with avocado.
Yeah, we went to...
Avocado's only in season for a couple of months, isn't it?
Yeah.
So for like 10 months of a year, none of those items are available. I mean,
yeah, no salmon.
Okay.
No, yeah,
I don't want to
right?
name the restaurant, but
It sounds like sushi. But
very bad sushi. Well, I shouldn't say that either. But,
yeah, you didn't mention it. But anyways, yeah, if you're going to the restaurant, you'll encounter that really. You will that they will say out of stock. This one is not available and all that. And also, if you're going to do your grocery, most of the time, things you need, like usually like things that you really need, is out of stock.
yeah,
Right?
Yeah.
You complain, especially if you're going to move to small city like Dumaguete, right? It's far from the big city. Like maybe in Cebu, you don't have big problem with this, but here in Dumaguete, it usually like out of stock. Even medicine, like getting medicine.
Medicine's terrible. It always, just so many things. So many things. Wherever you go, it's always. I mean, out of stock, sir.
You
Sorry, out of
remember
stock,
when
sir.
Gracie gets sick and we drive all Dumaguete to find her antibiotic? I mean, think about that.
Oh yeah, whatever it was she needed. Yeah, just one place. Yeah, no, sorry, so out of stock. Out of stock.
And the doctor ended up giving us 3 different medicines, though, right?
Yeah.
Because the second one, we can't find it again. And then the third time, finally, we found it. So,
Yeah. Anyway, so that's pretty much it. Again, this video isn't really. We're not trying to be negative. We're just telling
It's not
people
really negative.
that are thinking about coming to the Philippines. This is really a video telling you, hey, before you come here, please consider, because you're not going to be happy if any of the things we discussed today are things you can't live with. Then don't retire in the Philippines.
yeah, if you can't put up with it.
In fact, just on finishing, so we talked about this earlier about how many people that come here and all they do is complain all the time.
Yeah, do not retire.
Yeah, no,
Here.
I complain, I do, and I probably complain too much, but I also say a lot of good things about the Philippines, a lot of positive things. So hey, I give praise and I complain. But there are some people that would just do nothing but complain about
Sit in the restaurant and talk about the negative and blah, blah, blah. And I think
Non-stop.
it's irritating to hear.
I don't think that those people should be here or retired. I don't know why they are here. If you've got nothing good to say, then you this probably isn't the place for you.
I mean, Gary complained, but he also talked about the good things. He appreciate the good things about the Philippines. I mean, it's so many good things about the Philippines, but also we want to give you an honest, idea about the negative living here that maybe won't work for you. So we would suggest you not to consider retiring here in the Philippines.
No. Anyway, this is a topic that could go on for a long time. So
Yeah, you know what? We can.
I think we've already done a long video on this. So.
Yeah. Anyways, thank you so much, and don't forget to subscribe to my husband's channel.
Yeah, we don't really talk about my channel.
Yeah.
I usually tell you not to. Actually, I don't like to be promoting, but hey, what the hell? American Christian in the Philippines. It's a channel that's Christian based. So if you're an atheist or a God hater, you probably won't want to subscribe. Sorry, to the channel. But if you are Christian or seeking, or you're interested in Christianity or things related to God, then please check out my channel and subscribe to that one too if you like what I'm doing. Thank you for that plug.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's our topic for today, and thank you so much for watching till the end, and we'll see you in our next conversation.
Or next live.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.
God bless everyone.